All right, y'all, come on in the room. Wait for a few more minutes. Let me go back. She don't take too long. Hey, YouTube. Okay, young two people, come on in the room. Hit the thumbs up, so I would appreciate it. And say hello in the chat so I can know who I'm talking to. Okay, now it's down to one person. All right, I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes. I'm not gonna stay here too long. It's already 11 o'clock. So, anywho, I know my shirt is on backwards, so that's why I said I'm not staying on long. I'm about to go to bed soon. Okay, so as you can see from the title, Amazon had a pay increase. Now, it's not at a particular facility, but it's all across the board from the fulfillment centers, all the locations based on your locality pay. So, based on where you live, they did increase the pay. So, I'm going to give you an example about my pay and where I live. And they are hiring. So, I would send a link, or better yet, if you're interested, if you live in Atlanta, metro Atlanta area, and you're looking for a job and you want to work at Stone Mountain, you could send me an email. Send me an email and I can send you a code. It's like a code and a link to where to apply. You don't have to go on Amazon.com jobs and apply, but you can actually use a referral code. Now you get $150 if you stay there for 3 months. That means I have to stay there for 3 months too. So they are looking for people. And if you live in Stone Mountain or anywhere like Snellville, Lawrenceville, or somewhere, you could work at that facility, which is ATL1, which is the code for the location, and it's off of West Park Place. Now, so last week, I came into work and I was like, so I came in about what, maybe 2 hours later. I took some time because I was tired and I needed my rest. So I took a nap, took a rest. So when I came in, I saw they was all in this meeting in this room. I said, "Why everybody packed up in that small little ass room?" So when I came in, they had just finished. So they were talking about there was a meeting about the pay increase and this and that or whatever. So they had a discussion. So basically, I said, well, I just got here and I had used my personal time, and if they was gonna have another session to discuss it. So you know how they get. They first they was like, um, well, you could go into the next session that's about to start because you got like over 5,000 something employees, so everybody's not gonna be notified all at once. And it was in this small little room, and it had everybody in the department that I work in. I was like, why everybody packed up in like that? That didn't make no sense. So anyway, so at first they was like, well, you can come back tomorrow. I'm telling two different things, you know. So one of the leaders, he said, okay, well, I could show you. So he showed me, showed me about the pay increase. So basically, um, if you were like a level one, and based on the time frame you've been there. So I've been working at Amazon for 1 year and 3 months. Yeah, 1 year and 3 months. My 1 year was my 1 year was July 3rd. Was it the 3rd or the 5th? Whatever day it was. So they said you basically get $1 increase. So based upon the longevity, the long time that I've been there, I would go up from pay. So, and that doesn't include if you work the night differential pay, which is $2.50. So when I looked at today, I said, let me look and see, because I was like, I thought they said they're supposed to show up on Saturday, but it didn't. It must have updated either that Sunday or Monday or whatever it was. I don't know. So I saw that I saw that my increased pay went up from what was it? $17 and some change or whatever it was. So it was basically like $1 increase. So then with the $2.50 night differential pay, so I'm almost at $19 and something cent. So that is what I received as an increase. Now, all across Amazon, it's not going to be the same, but it'd be different. So like if you worked in New York, of course, the cost of living in New York is much higher. So they probably get paid more than that. Now, the catch is that they gave an increase because, number one, there's going to be, remember I said last week there was some issues of churn, and that it was reports about that in the next coming years, couple years or so, that there would be a lot of churn or high turnover at Amazon, meaning that it's going to be difficult for them to find people to work at these facilities. And because a lot of people don't survive or last that long. Not because for many different reasons. One, it could be it could put too much physical toll on you, on your body. You know? Two, because I'm at that point where my unpaid time off is low now because I took off Saturday, and because I work a 12-hour shift, my unpaid time is like 4 hours. But if you go to zero, then the system will automatically fire you. So I know when to, like, okay, so now it's time for me to keep going to work. Don't take no days off. Don't take no time off, and keep going to work. And I'll build it back up to a point where it's not in that low unpaid time, blah, blah, blah. They keep sending you the message every goddamn day. Like I said, God dang, I already know I'm at low. But see, at some point in time, I will go to work every day. Now, when I get to work, whether or not I choose to take VTO, voluntary time off, that's a different story. If they have VTO, for personal time, out of the 3 days that I work, I will work a full 2 days, and I may work a few hours, and then I'll take the VTO and go home because I got things I need to do. I'm working on my assignments, with Salesforce that I'm still working on, which this is the last week. And then after that, I have to study to take the certification test and prepare for my resume and interviews and things like that. And then, of course, TurboTax during the summer extension after the week of October 15th, the tax deadline, October 15th, that will end. That's in a couple more weeks. So today is the 5th. So next week or the week after that, then it's gonna then I go on hiatus until January. I go back to work with TurboTax till January of next year. So basically, I'll be working still at Amazon, of course, unless they get on my nerves real bad and I say, you know what, I quit. But hey, Romeo, I'm reading some news that they have remote workers, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I have to look that up. Because if you work from home and you're an employee, there is no incentives when you work from home and you're an employee. If you're an employee and you work from home, basically, there's no tax write-offs when just because you work from home. Now, if you're an independent contractor and you have a business and you have a home office that has to be designated as a home office, you could write off certain expenses. Oh, for the company side, I don't know about the company side. That might be true, but on a company perspective, I don't do the business side of it, but um that might be true because if a company is getting some type of tax breaks and incentives for people to have employees working from home and they decided they're gonna not give them that incentive, then maybe that's true. I don't know. I know that if you as basically look at it like this, if you as an employer, you don't get the incentive working from home as an employer or employee. If you're an employee, you don't get those incentives working from home unless you file a schedule A and you may have to buy uniforms or something out of pocket, and then you could write off those little expenses, job related expenses as a form. But I'll talk about that on a tax topic because I want to start making I'm going back to resuming my videos about taxes and stuff all over again. I'm not going to do no live stream, long conversations anymore. I'm going to do short videos so I could promote my tax and bookkeeping business, which I'm going to be starting officially. So I'm in the works of doing that and just making up basic flyers and maybe a landing page for my website. But I'm not going to focus so much on the website because marketing is more so to do with word of mouth, approaching people, telling them what you do. And I already started to do that now. So I got a large consumer base of customers. That's bigger because I don't know. That don't have nothing. That going back to the office, home office has nothing to do with the tax incentives and stuff like that. That really had nothing to do with that. The whole big controversy was really nothing to do with people wanting to go back to the office and all this kind of stuff and working from home. That has more to do with people talking about still going on fussing about the coronavirus and people not being efficient at work and this and that or whatever. So it would be in the best interest. And it's only certain companies that's making a big deal about it, like Tesla. They want people to come back and work in the office and things like that. That has more to do with the fact that these companies are paying for the office space and paying all those expenses, and because they figure they're paying for an empty building and empty chairs for nobody not to be there, they still paying for it. They want people to come back to work because they want some normal. They want some ways, some things to be normal again, if there is such a thing. But it has nothing to do with taxes because if a company, if anything, a lot of people are still doing that silent resignation, or they trying to lay off people. Depending on what industry you're in, a lot of these tech firms and stuff, they starting to lay off a lot of people now. But they're not laying off regular employees first. They laying off contractors. So if you contractors working as a software developer, you working for Facebook or Meta, because they said they were starting to have some hiring freeze and letting people go. So these big companies were laying people off for software developers, but they're gonna first get those contractors first. They're not employees, they're contractor. So if you're a contractor or independent contractor for these tech companies, you could write off your expenses anyway, because number one, if you most of them work from home, they could write off those expenses because they're a contractor. And so it depends on the industry of what remote workers are ready to go first. But it's the contractors that's going to be let go first, because these are contractors. Just like when I was working at QuickBooks for that couple of weeks during the summer, I was an independent contractor. I worked for TurboTax, but when the tax season ended, and I asked HR, can I work as an independent contractor on QuickBooks side? And they would say, yes, I could. But after I found out all that foolishness that they were doing, because they were so disorganized at this one company that I was doing this independent contract for, I had to use my own computer. I had to, download all that software on my personal computer. And when TurboTax called me back to say, oh, were you interested in working during the summer? It starts August the 5th. I said, yep. And that's when I notified them that I'll be working at TurboTax. It's a conflict of interest. So I went, I didn't even stay for those couple. I could have stayed for those few weeks, those 3 weeks, and got paid, because they didn't pay you until after you finish doing the training and all that. But while I was there, they didn't pay me and you weren't getting paid. But when I had finished whatever part I finished, oh, goodness gracious. When I had finished that 1 week, I did get paid $100. But they were so disorganized, and those were third-party companies. And they also hire third-party people to work to do during the tax season. So TurboTax only hires, majority of people are seasonal. So I know that I will always have a position at TurboTax because I'm seasonal. And, so next week, the week after next, when, because it's been kind of slow. I've been sitting there, and I'll be sitting there waiting for people to call. I didn't get a lot of calls, but I don't even work all day either, So I didn't put myself on a schedule today, and I don't think I'm on a schedule tomorrow, but I did log in for the team meeting. And then Tuesday, I totally missed the whole day. So I'll be working this weekend, because I'll be working this weekend. So I'll be plugged in, logged on, waiting for people to call. And then after that, if people wait at the last minute, because the October 15th tax deadline is fast approaching, people will wait at the last minute to do their tax returns. But I don't think it's going to be like a whole influx of people, like all of a sudden people that's going to call. But I don't know, maybe because I don't work in the evenings, because they're not closed at midnight like they did during the tax season. They close at what the hell time they close? 8 o'clock Pacific time, something like that. So I don't work at closing, not during this summer season. I said, nope, I'll come in at maybe 11 to 2 or 11 to 3 or 8 to 2 or 3. That's it. 2, 3 o'clock come, I'm finished. I didn't overextend myself for this summer by working in the evenings and all that stuff. I said, I got things to do with studying for Salesforce and studying my lessons, and then I have to work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But anyhow, back to the topic. So Amazon gave a pay increase all across the board, even people who were software engineers and everything else. So, for instance, if you were a software engineer and say it was like $120,000, now their pay increase went up to $200,000, something like that. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to the higher level end, because I said I'm not at that level yet. So ain't no point in me worrying about what you get as a software engineer. But I also heard that they have to post the positions so that you could see it. So it's not going to be no one person going to get salary, one person going to get this. Everybody who worked there, depending on how long you've been there, you're going to get paid the same amount of pay. That's why I knew when I was told by a certain person that I worked with about their pay was competitive. I was like, now I knew it wasn't competitive. I knew that you didn't get a salary, but you got paid per hour. And then when I saw the chart, when they pulled out the chart, showed me the pay range after so many years, I think you don't get any more money. So if you already maxed out, so if somebody who's been there like 3 years, 4 years, and they showed them the chart, they said, well, if you worked at this time and you already at $23, and they say you're going to get an increase of, say, $1 or whatever, and it's at 24 or 25, once you at that level at a tier 3 or whatever, you don't get no more money. Now you have to do a whole different career. Say, you went from being some type of problem solver or you to operations, So that's why I'm taking these career choice for Salesforce, because I said, well, one, I'm gonna take advantage so I can go into a whole new career altogether. And if they have a position available at Amazon, because I don't want to be no problem solver, I don't want to be no working in no warehouses, whatever. I want to be more on the technical side where I could sit, work from home or whatever the case may be, and go behind the scenes for technical, or work in one of their data centers doing AWS or something. But other than that, I'm tired of doing warehouse work, lifting boxes and everything else, and hurting my feet all day, and even though I'm still technically injured. Now I need to call the doctor tomorrow. I need to fess up and go and make this appointment at a doctor and just check about my feet, because I know because there's diabetes and sugar level. But I said, ain't no way I'm supposed to feel numbness, and to the point where I'm feeling like it's numb now. It got to be something else. All the creams and all the pills and everything, But anyways, so that's about that with the Amazon pay increase. So if you're interested and you live in Atlanta and you want to work at Stone Mountain, send me an email, tsmallwood68gmail.com, and I could send you the link, and the link will be the referral code and the referral to apply, because if you have a better chance going that route. And then it's only for this particular location in Stone Mountain. So any other locations, I don't know. I can't tell you about that, but I know they're hiring. I don't know, because maybe the holiday season's coming up and they expect this whole big old Christmas rush or whatever the case may be. I don't see how that's going to be. I mean, it's always going to be busy during the holidays, because then a lot of people, they want to see, a lot of people, they work there for a few months and then they move on. So, they do a whole lot of different things there. I don't know. Who knows? They do a bunch of crazy stuff. They always try to, have this high turnover churn rate. Say, you ain't making rate. And they try to get rid of people or whatever the case may be. Some, like I said, I'm one slip away from being fired if I go zero for unpaid time. So I have 4 hours and some minutes remaining. And I knew pretty much it was going to be like that. But I sometimes I need to take a break. Yeah, it's easy for me to go to work every day. And I decided to take a day off, and I used all my personal time. I used all my I didn't use none of my vacation time yet. I still got about 26, 27 hours of vacation. So I have not taken no vacation time. I've already used the majority of I used up all my personal time. So I don't get no more personal time until next year. Then it accumulates again. And then unpaid time, I've had 4 hours and some minutes. So, you know, when it's time for me to go to work, I go to work. But it gets to a point where I say, dragging myself to work and being just, being tired and exhausted. And then, that's why I try to take VTO. Whenever they get it, I use them. I take them. Now, I know if they start offering VTO and I work inbound, that means that usually the work is not as coming in to the point where they need all these people, you know. Now, some people, some people, most of my coworkers, they ain't leaving, they ain't taking no VTO, no nothing. Some people stay there, they can stand around there all day and they'll stand around and they don't do nothing because, see, they need the money. Me, on the other hand, yeah, I need money. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to say I got money like that or I'm rich or I could afford to sit home for weeks and weeks at a time. But I have an emergency fund. I have other things that I do to make money. I started doing survey.com again because I wasn't doing that for the last few weeks. And Sunday, when I worked, I made $89 and I went to the Target and Walmart just to do some whatever. And that was it. Now, and I have some other assignments coming up for the month of October to do, which is going to be about maybe $200, $300, $400. So I know I could always go. I always have something to fall back on. I always have something to fall back on. If I need to make some money, I could always know I got my other survey or merchandising gig jobs that I could do. And even one company, ACM, I'm an employee. Technically, I'm an employee, but I haven't worked with them for the last couple of years. They send me something today. We need someone to go to Publix at such and such and such. And, even though they still talking crazy about paying $15 an hour, I was like, you need to pay a little bit more than that, especially since I know I could work with another company to have the same contract and they pay them a little bit more. So trust me, I always have a backup plan when it comes to working. So come next year, January, when tax season starts again, I'm going to start doing my bookkeeping and tax business again. I'm going to make up some of my flyers. I'm going to figure out how to make a flyer on Canva and print out, go to Vistaprint and print out some basic business cards. And I'm going to buy the software and do taxes again. And I'm not doing nothing for free. So don't call me. Don't ask me. We need it for free. Don't ask me a whole bunch of questions. I answer real basic general questions, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of this time. I'm not going to be taking advantage of people. I do their tax return for free and this and no. If I give out anything for free, it's because if you refer your friends or family members, I'll do your tax return for free. 2 for 1. If you have some family, friends, and you get a referral, and I'm gonna put all that out there. I said you put a referral. I may put a code, and it says if you're an Amazon employee and you came across says Amazon and give me the code, I'll give you a discount. But I'm not doing nothing for free. Nope. That software that I have to purchase, and that thing's not free. That ain't free. I gotta buy the software, the licenses. When if you do your taxes yourself, whether you use H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and they say, I'm gonna do it myself, and you buy the software out of the store, or whether you go online and download it, at the end, they say, okay, we like to complete your tax return for a small business. The price is $289. The state is blah, whatever the price. They, you know, that ain't free. That is not free at all. You know, I'm tired of people always, they want to be on a slick slide. Now, if I do a session one day and I may do a session one day, and I may say, okay, well, if you want to join in the session, if you have anything about certain tax topics, I'm gonna figure out how to do some pamphlets and resources, books, put them together, and sell it for probably like $5, $10. I'm not gonna be expensive, but if I do tax guides or tax resources and I start putting the books, I figure out that I could go on Amazon and I could actually make different books. It ain't gonna be a book like 50 page or whatever, but I'm gonna be more serious about my ventures and what I want to do. So while I'm still trying to learn Salesforce, pass my certification, and get a certification and pursue other avenues of a career, I'm also going to have to start working on my business because I've been doing taxes for 20 something years, and I've been on this YouTube channel. And even though some of my YouTube channels, I did talk about taxes and give people advice, but I never promoted my channel exclusively as a tax service business or whatever. But I've watched a lot of different people who made videos about taxes and things like that, and they probably do it on the side. They probably make YouTube as on a side channel gig, but money is not made from YouTube. People may find out about you, through a business, but I have a whole new different ways of how I'm going to change how I promote myself at this point. So this channel, let's talk about it with Lady T. It's not going to be a tax channel, but I may start making small little videos as different subject matters that may come up, but it's not going to be detailed and let everybody know the specifics of certain things. So if you have a question and you want to, set up a personal time, say do Zoom, you don't have to live in Georgia for me to do your taxes either. You can live anywhere across the country. A lot of people they seek someone, they thought you had to live in the same city they live in, but you don't have to. They don't have to. Now, they might be your local tax person that may live in the area. So I may get a lot of businesses or get a lot of referrals from local people because, I can meet with someone one-on-one, or we could meet somewhere at Panera or a public place, and I'll, sit there with them. I had customers in the past. I worked with them, and I haven't heard from them in a while, so I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to find them. But I had business, like I said, most of the time when I was doing taxes outside of working, I was given a lot of free advice, even when it came to the PPP and the stimulus. I asked people, I said, when I meet the people, I said, oh, they would say they're a small business. And I start talking. I asked them, did you ever get the grant, the Ely grant? No, I ain't want that because the person told me they would charge me 20% to get this, for to give them the money. I was like, A lot of y'all lost out on $10,000. And if you lived in a certain areas in the state, in the country, $5,000. Some of y'all lost out on $15,000 of grants. And I said to people, I said, who did your tax return? And they'll tell me who. Did they tell you about the Ely grant? No, they ain't say nothing about. If they didn't tell you, nobody never told y'all about those type of benefits that was offered at the time, they didn't do you no justice. They didn't do you no justice. I asked a lot of people, how much did you pay the person? It was $1,200 to do what? What did they do? Well, I do Uber Eats and this. I said, something like that? No. Most of y'all got ripped off because they say, well, this person was doing it for years. I said, okay. Well, did they sign the return and put that PTIN number on there? No, they didn't know what. They just think. See, tax planning is not about putting stuff in a computer, because that's all it is. If you have a W-2 or whatever, all you gotta do is type the information in, and that's it. And you just pay for the service for using TurboTax or H&R Block software, and boom, that's it. And it don't take a whole lot of work to do something basic. And when I try to tell people, I said, well, if you needed help doing it, you're gonna do it yourself, and you got questions. Well, I don't understand this part. I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and you can either call TurboTax and somebody can help you, pay as you go. That's what I do at my regular work. People get TurboTax or whatever, and they don't have understanding. You could call TurboTax. They'll help you. But if the TurboTax had to do it themselves, meaning full service returns, you have to download all the documentation. You got to send them all the information. They'll look at it and see how, depending on the complexity of your return, they'll come back and tell you how much it costs. $379, $400, whatever. Because the more paperwork, the more stuff you got to submit and all these things, that's more work that someone has to do. A lot of people, a lot of people were so used to in the past, they would run to H&R Block December 31st, nowhere close to tax season being open, systems that have been updated by the IRS or the state. They run to these places and they used to give them an advance. We'll give you $5,000 advance, meaning they anticipated you getting earned income tax credit, EIC, and you got a bunch of kids and you getting back $15,000 and all that stuff, and they're going to advance you the money. It used to be they used to advance people so much money up front, but then you don't realize you're paying $500-$600 in fees. And then when they get their return, which takes 3 weeks to process, and then they get the money in advance, you losing out thousands of dollars of money. Or some people and if you get the earned income tax credit, they holding those returns until February, March, because now you got to go through what's called a path. And I'll explain that later. I don't want to get in that big topic because that's not what I came to talk about. See, so a lot of people in the past, they used to get their money real early. That ain't nothing but a loan. And they'll tell you it's 23 point something percent, So they stopped doing that. And let me tell you, now, with the way how the banks are, with all the, people can't go to a bank, cash a check, or put deposits. They holding money. So all these little bank fees, companies that was charging people fees and everything else, they're going to be ruthless. They're not advancing money like that no more. Well, can you take the refund? Can you take the fees out of the refund? That's okay, sure. That's why I said, when I start my business, either one, you're going to cash at me in advance, especially if I don't know you. And put it this way, even if I don't, do an advance, and you say, well, I want to take it out of your, can you take it out of my refund? First of all, you have to determine whether or not you're getting a refund anyway. See, that's the thing. Are you getting a refund? See, a lot of people assume you're going to get a refund. The problem is, how much of a refund are you going to get? That's what's going to be the problem come next year. They're not doing the extension on the advanced child tax credit. They gave the money in advance if you had a child. They gave it out during the summer. They didn't do that this year. They sure didn't. They didn't extend it either. They did not extend that. If y'all didn't realize, I don't know how many of y'all got kids, but a lot of people, when they got these big refunds, a lot of them had advanced child tax credit. They had to earn income tax credit. That's why some people got so much of a refund, because there was a credit. Don't look for that no more. Don't look for it. And don't ask me, you think there's going to be another stimulus? Hell fucking no, there won't be another stimulus. So don't ask me that either. There ain't no stimulus. It should have never been a stimulus in the first goddamn place, in my opinion. Because when they were printing that money, printing it, 2020 when the coronavirus happened, most people, including myself, had the highest savings account saved. These people saved money because, one, you couldn't go nowhere. Everything was closed. You couldn't leave nowhere. They gave it stimulus. You didn't have to drive, so you saved a lot of money in gas. You know, they gave out the stimulus, you know. They gave out PPP loans to people who shouldn't have got it. I didn't get it because I told them, nope. They asked me. They said, you want to be PPP? No, nope. It's only me. I can't guarantee you if I'll be able to pay it back. I said, no, I don't want it. Nope. Because the catch was that a lot of people who got PPP, or people was offering PPP, was because they got fees. They got fees. They had to get money from that. Some people did fraudulent. They ain't had that. That was supposed to be for payroll protection. So people ain't had no damn payroll. People falsified LLCs and got, I'm not talking about the ones you heard on the news that had all these millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, those people were featured on the news and got caught. But there's a whole lot of people who may got a few $1,000s here and there. They, trust me, they going after y'all. They going after y'all too. They don't let it fool you thinking nothing's going to be happening. They going after people too. They already determined that the Attorney General office, they'll say that there was millions of people who had got PPP didn't qualify and they got it. They going after those small change too. That's why I said, nope, I don't want it. If it's a grant, I'll take the grant. And I showed, and trust me, when I had mine underwritten, they was like, well, Good to Live and what's the other company I used to do deliveries for, food deliveries? Oh, yes, I worked, the one I was telling y'all that was local here in Atlanta. I was doing food deliveries. Oh, yes, I got my pay statements. I had all of this. I had all my stuff broken down. Grubhub, Uber Eats, Deliv, Instacart. Y'all know the other one I was doing. All those companies. I had all my payments, all my stuff. It's on my Google Drive, and I set up in folders. And I said, yep, there's my income. And trust me, a lot of y'all missed out. Because if you lost 30%, if you made 30% loss in pay for what you made previously, you could have got it. And I told y'all about that. I said that all year long, all summer long. But no, y'all went and followed behind some other YouTubers who got 20, 30,000 subscribers and telling y'all BS about you could be an LLC if you do Uber Eats, and you could do, telling them wrong information. They didn't know what they're talking about. And when I get on there and listen to what they said and I correct them, then they're going to get on the comment section, jump on me like I don't know what I'm talking about and get all mad at me. And then I'm sitting here saying, you know what? This is fraud to the galore. People promoted a business to help people get an elite grant and PPP and charging people money to get the money. I'm going to charge y'all to do the tax return, but I'm not going to charge people to how to fill out the form, because on the form itself, it said, it asked the person, it asked me, did you pay anyone any fees to help you with this form, whatever? I said, nope. Because you had to put the person's name and information if you paid someone to do it. And trust me, a lot of y'all got suckered. And please don't tell me about the big companies was getting money too, and they got in trouble too. So don't think that nothing happened to them. And I can't be worrying about big companies and big people who make millions of dollars on this. They make millions of dollars doing whatever they were doing, and then get caught up. Because see, they have lawyers, and trust me, they got fined. And they may say, okay, you're going to jail or prison, but you're not going to no hardcore prison. You're probably going to one of those, whatever. But see, Black folks, Hispanic people, we need to start worrying about what someone else didn't do, or they didn't get this, and why I got this, and this and that, and whatever, because we don't have no lawyers, we don't have no big time money, and we don't have deep pockets to work ourselves not be going to jail. Just like Kim Kardashian, she had to pay that 1.3 million fine for that Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency scheme or whatever. I read about that over a year ago. It was her and somebody else. Now, she may not have, she may, if it was any regular person that got caught up and did some mess like that, and didn't have the millions of dollars to pay the fine, a $1.3 million fine, she would have been going to jail. Oh, she going to jail for 2-3 years. 4 years, she going to jail. The only time a person who got money, deep pockets, the only time they go to jail or prison, like Martha Stewart, is when you really get up there to the SEC. When you start insider trading. Ooh, you do insider trading, they don't give a damn how much money you got. You going to jail. Insider trading, that's one thing you don't play with, because insider trading is a white collar crime of people who, a regular Jaquan and Takia and Teresa and Romeo and whomever else, David, us regular folks, we do insider trading, white collar crime. We don't know, typical regular person don't know nothing about that. Insider trading and stuff like that is first of all, for you to go and do inside trading, you have to have deep pockets, and to the point where you start doing millions of dollars of investments and things of that nature. But a regular person like me and you and everyone else with our little Robinhood app, buying 0.01 shares of whomever, I wouldn't even do that. Even though they have an open enrollment now for the stock trade at TurboTax, I think I already passed the deadline for Amazon already. I can't, because I work at Amazon and they have an open enrollment for stocks, I couldn't go and purchase it. And immediate family members cannot purchase stocks when you have an employee plan where you get stocks to buy and options. That's illegal, and that's insider trading too. But the likelihood of no, you will get fined for that, because when you buy stocks on the Robinhood app or whatever app that you use, and say I went on Amazon, say I want to buy me some Amazon stock. Before you even hit, it tells you, do you work for Amazon or whatever? And so I wouldn't even play with that. I wouldn't even mess with that. Nope, sure wouldn't. Now, if I wasn't working no more for the company, I would do it. But ain't nobody got no money like that. But anywho, so next year, 2023. Drink me some water. 2023. I've been watching a lot of videos for these last few days, laying in bed, tired and exhausted, of all these silly people who were um, doing videos like Dave Ramsey. Well, they call it the Ramsey Show, but it was Dave Ramsey and this other guy, and it was people on there and this other lady. It was three different shows I watched. And basically, she comes in. These people come in there and they kind of go over people's finances. Boy, I never heard some stupid ass people in my life. The I'm gonna have to do a video on this person's channel, and I say, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing. So anyway, so this person, he's in Austin, Texas, and he gets people that come on there. I don't know why how all these people moved to Austin. They were from all these different cities, Philadelphia and California, and these were people like in their 20s. And man, the way they had dealt with their finances was ridiculous. They was like ordering they were ordering food, like spending $2,000 to $3,000 on out takeout foods from Uber Eats and Grubhub. They bought like a 30,000 plus dollar car. Um, they were taking they were only getting paid, say, $15, $16 an hour. And even if some of them weren't paying that low, they were getting paid six figures, but they were spending all their money on foolishness and the way how they did their credit card debts and saving. I don't know. I'm gonna have to show y'all a video about that. But anyway, that's not what I'm gonna talk about. But that's leading to what I'm speaking about for next year. The way it's been talked about now in the news is there's gonna be some major recession, depression that we haven't yet. We're not even entering the depression part. Now we know prices of food's been going up 30 something percent. The winter time they're expecting, especially things going on in Europe, gas prices, heating, food, bank closures. It's gonna be totally off the chain. It's gonna be so bad anticipating for next year that you have to really start planning, pay off any debts you have. I don't have no credit card debts. I paid my credit card bill yesterday. I looked at it, I said $100 something. I paid that. All my credit cards, Amazon credit card, the Capital One and PayPal. Who else I got? I think that's all I got. I paid it all off. When I charge my credit card, I pay it off immediately. When they think post on my statement, I pay it off. I don't even pay the minimum. I don't pay a little bit. I don't do none of that. So I'm trying to pay off all those consumer debts. And then when I look at these medical bills that I got that they claim I owe, I need to dispute that because I said, no, to make sure that this is correct, I want to go over it. So far, I'm doing good for the month of October because these last few months I was looking, I said, well, dang, I was looking at my budget and I was like, even though I don't eat at fast food and stuff as much anymore or hardly, I was going to the grocery store way too many times last month, especially last month. And I said, hell no. And I did go to the grocery store this week, but I haven't bought anything, no Panera bread, no extra nothing. So I said to myself, okay, I already went to the grocery store, I already spent $30 for the groceries this week. I bought milk, orange juice, and, little things here and there, bread. And I said, you know what? Now it's time for me to eat out of my pantry, freezer, and refrigerator. Oh, I did buy some oatmeal. It was at Publix. Buy one, get one free. The big old oatmeal. I bought cereal. And I said, nope. So I'm going to try to work on how I'm spending. I'm not going to the grocery store as much. I don't need to buy no more meats. I don't need to buy no more nothing. I did buy chicken at Publix because I didn't feel like cooking no chicken. It was, I wanted fried chicken. And I said, that's it. So I said I bought plenty of meats, plenty of things I can make soups with, canned goods I got. So I said, the only thing I need to buy, if I go to the grocery store, say towards the end of October, is because I want to buy me some chicken wings. Not chicken wings, turkey legs. Turkey wings. I keep saying it. Turkey wings. I don't like turkey legs too much, but turkey wings. We're at the Cab Farmers Market. So I'm going to buy, I'm not trying to buy a whole lot, but depending on how much it costs, I'll take y'all to the grocery store next time I go to Cab Farmers Market. But I'm going to buy my turkey wings at the Cab Farmers Market before Thanksgiving, way before Thanksgiving. Man, in fact, I should go on Sunday and buy them. Or I may buy Sunday and buy some, buy me like 4 pounds, 5 pounds, even though that's not a lot of pounds. That's only that's only 5 turkey legs, 5 pieces whole. But I've cut them in half from the flat to the drumstick. That ain't a whole lot, but I'm not gonna buy a whole bunch because I asked my mother today. I said, "You didn't bring anything for the holidays or whatever," because I need to plan what I'm gonna bring, plan on what I'm gonna cook. I'm not cooking no big dinner because it's only me. But if I was to have dinner at home and I wanted to, there ain't that many people to invite because a lot of people, I don't eat meat, so that'll, I could save that. Some of my other friends, they may not be cooking up a storm, If I want to make macaroni and cheese, that's gonna be expensive because just the cheese itself, I was like, oh, that's gonna be expensive. But I'm trying to cut back on eating a lot of the heavy type foods anyway. So, and collard greens, mustard greens. Hopefully there's some in season by the time it gets as the months go by, because that's a cold crop. And I know I didn't try to grow no collard greens. And I don't know if my grandmother even cooked it, my uncle maybe, they may have done it. I don't know. I like fresh collard greens, cabbage and stuff. So I'm trying to buy my, certain things early. So turkey wings, and if I buy collard greens, I'm gonna wash them, cut them up, put them in the freezer. So I have some collard greens set aside. I think that's about it though. Yeah, but next year, y'all gotta be on a strong, pay off those debts, pay off those credit cards, make yourself a list in terms of what you're gonna buy what you need, not what you want. And if you don't have an emergency fund, do an emergency plan. I already got my emergency set up, but I'm gonna set up a second one because I'm doing my second emergency fund so I could do renovations in this house. I'm gonna try to fix things up myself, especially little minor things. Try to do it myself, or maybe I'll find somebody who may need money. But I'm not, in terms of remodeling, I'm only doing the first thing I need to do is do the normal fix up. I could do a major upgrade by just painting and fixing that down, ceiling, and that's it. I'm not trying to do the major renovations. I'm I'm really trying to make that as a goal. Like when it's time for me to sell this house, when it's time for me to move out of Georgia, because I tell y'all, before I turn 60, I'll be moving out of here. And if I find me another job or career that's paying me some very good money and it's in another state or I have to relocate, I'm not buying another house in another state. That's for sure. I will either sell this house or I will rent it. And if I do the rental, I'm not going to do these major upgrades. I'm going to do upgrade in terms of paint, upgrade, putting some flooring, especially up here, carpet, change this carpet, um, paint, change the light fixtures, it needs to be upgraded, kind of old. And the bathrooms, that's it. And I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm going to do it in stages. So I don't know what's going to happen in 2023, but you have to do what you need to do now. This is October the 6th, the last quarter of the year. And if you don't have a plan and plan what you want to do, whether it be your career, whether it be your finances, you got to do it. You got to do it now. You have to do it now. And that's what I'm planning. I'm not going to be talking too much about it. I'm going to just do it because I've been doing so many different things at one time, and all my time has been drained and spent physically, mentally. Working at Amazon, that cost me some physical, mental pain of trying to, study and this, it's too much. And I know I needed to take some time off last week. That's why I took it off. And I said, okay, whatever. I don't have no more PTO, personal time. I have low unpaid time, but I will keep that vacation time intact. So January come, I have 40 hours of vacation. And by the time that comes about, that's it. But I'm going to go to work every day. Go to work every day. If I work 2 days, if I make it to 3 days in a row, fine. But if I work full 2 days and maybe they get slow and I say, okay, I already got enough hours to pay for my insurance and whatever, I'll take BTO, but I ain't going to do it every day. I'm going to at least do it one day in a week if they offer it, or I'll just stay. I'm not going to, I may just stay rather than being tempted to I'm going to take it, I just, I'm just going to, I still got my accommodation. I can still sit down. I just need to sit down. Just like this other girl at the work job she's doing. And I'm going to not overwork myself like that. Overwork for what? No appreciation of nothing. None. I don't get naughty. I don't feel like I'm being appreciated. I don't feel that I could drop dead at Amazon and all they would do is call the ambulance. And I'm not wishing that on myself, but you only a number. The only thing you are is a number. That's all. So I said, you know what? Why am I doing, I'm throwing all this effort to do what? Whether I do 5,000 cases or 2,000 cases or 100 cases at the end of the shift or whatever, you still gonna get the same pay. Ain't nobody giving me pay no more money to do something else. Yeah, the system will write you up and say, "Boo, you didn't do this and you didn't do that or whatever," And then they want to know why they can't, they didn't want to know why they have a high churn rate. It's already anticipating in the next couple of years, it's going to be a hard time that Amazon's going to find people to work in their facilities. And I could tell you, the reason why I stayed as long as I stayed was because one, insurance, and two, because of career choice. If it wasn't for those things, if it wasn't for me taking advantage of those two opportunities, I wouldn't have stayed. I would say that bump that. I could do my merchandising assignments and get paid more money doing that. I sure would. That's how I look at it. I look at it because of the opportunities that's offered. Because Amazon is a good company, don't get me wrong. It is the world's largest employer, and they do offer a lot of things. Even if you're not even looking at the insurance, even the fact that they have career choice, you can go to school and you could take classes and learn new skills. You could take advantage of that. After 3 months of working at Amazon, you could take advantage of those programs. That's what I'm doing now, you know, and it is great. And I just hope that I get into that Amazon Technical Academy because I already took the test last week, so I'm waiting for to see what happens with that. But even if I don't get in, they always have AWS. They always have those things you can learn, AWS, and um, like I said, career choice. There's a lot of things out there. I started looking at it. I started looking at, especially today, and I started seeing. I said, you know what? How do you know? I click on it, and then it's like the more I read about them and read about the different things they offer, they have a lot to offer. But you have to take advantage of those programs that they have because they don't want people to work at no fulfillment center doing that physical labor job forever. They know after so many months, so many hours, so many years, it's only, you pushing 50-pound boxes every day and you doing that for 12 hours and you walking around and, it's only so much your body could take after so long. Especially my age, I'll be 54 next month. I'll be 54. Yeah, there's some people who work there that's older than me. But when I look at them, I observe. I say, you know what? Let me look. I look back and I'd be observing. They're not doing no physical labor like that. Not what I'm doing. They may be standing there doing, scanning boxes and doing problem solving stuff, Or there's one older lady, I know she, all they do, they just stand there and push the box. They not lifting no box. They ain't lifting one box. They standing there just pushing down the box just on the conveyor, They just standing there. That's it. They not pushing no carts. They not, doing no pallet and none of that. They not doing none of that. And I know one thing. Let me find out when I go to the doctor that when they look at my and they examine my foot and they say this ain't, yeah, you may have diabetes, but this pain that you feeling is something's torn because they did tell me what it was last year. I gotta find that damn notes that bitch wrote because she rude as hell when I went to see her. Got the nerve to talk about I owe $300 something dollars. And you did, But she was like, you see this right here? They didn't even explain it. She just told me what it was and that's it. And then, it didn't tell me nothing. They talk about you cover follow up in a couple weeks, follow up, and I can't follow up. Well, you ain't pay your doctor bill. They didn't, oof. I'm gonna give you a half-ass diagnosis, half-ass not even treatment. You just take, people just want to take x-rays and that's it, and then just charge you and just put the code and charge your insurance company. But then they don't even go over and sit with you long enough, I'm so dang disgusted. Anywho, well, let me go. It's 12:10, 10 after 12. So, all right, Romeo. Who else is over here lurking in the background? Can't say hello. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. it'll probably be early in the afternoon because I have to work tomorrow. So it'll be early in the day. So whoever's watching at the time, I appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all soon.